This song is all about improvisation.
Lo primero que habría que tener en cuenta es el ánimo.
The most challenging part of this piece is to really make it feel relaxed.
Don't try to sit down and play this thing all at once. It's going to be really difficult to do that.
It seems so easy, and it's confoundingly difficult.
I'm Martin Bejarano.
Gonzalo Rubalcaba.
Daphne Prieto.
I'm Shelley Berg. I'm the Dean of the highly acclaimed Frost School of Music. And today my colleagues and I are going to be taking apart a piece by Keith Jarrett that he wrote and recorded over 30 years ago.
No, this guy picked a really hard piece of music for us.
So this entire piece is played over a one-bar pattern in the left hand. And what's difficult about it is that it's doing in one hand what normally two hands of a drummer do. You've got a kind of an American backbeat rock with Latin syncopation. So the American backbeat rock is 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 4 with that 2 and 4 backbeat. Then you add the Latin rhythms. 2 and 3, da da da, and 1, 2 and da da 4 and. So that's fine, but all that's in the left hand. And it leaves a space on the downbeat of beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3, da da da. So you really have to practice that beat 3. 1, 2, 3, da da da. The trickiest part of that is that the left hand is silent on the beginning of beat 3.
The first thing you always want to look at when you're looking at the technical aspect of a passage is the fingering. When presented with a passage like this, where you kind of have to stretch a good distance between the notes, and in this case we have about a tenth. Plus we have the 10th with that added cluster in there, which makes it even more difficult. So a lot of times, students will kind of want to keep their hand in the stretched out position. And that's what they end up doing. But staying in that stretched out position can be really stressful for your hand. Instead of being in that stretched out position, to try to maintain this natural hand position as much as you can. Nice and relaxed, and actually very easy to play that way. So now let's talk about the second part of that passage. A lot of times, students will stretch, they'll twist, and they'll do kind of funny stuff with their hands in order to kind of get their fingers where they need to be. But instead of that, I have a really simple way of dealing with that. You simply move the hand to where it needs to be. Instead of kind of maybe twisting or stretching to hit this top chord, I'm going to simply move my hand from this position into the keyboard to this position and put me right over the chord that I need to play. So let's look at that real slow. Now I'm going to move in, move slightly out again. I'm kind of in that out position. I'm going to move in. Right? And then you can use just a little bit of pedal to help you connect the C with the B flat chord. Pedal down, pedal. So this technique will really enable you to play that pattern up to tempo throughout the whole course of the piece without getting tired or stressed or pain or fatigued.
My first point always is to start slow. Don't take that like a homework. Add some fun. Make some noise around, use your legs, move your body, record yourself, listen to yourself. Don't get in love with yourself.
All right, so this is the adaptation of the impromptu into the drum set. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to learn the bass drum pattern and the hi-hat pattern simultaneously. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to add the rhythmic pattern that we're going to adapt into the first and the second tone.
one note is enough to start the improvisation. Just one note. I remember that the first time I heard that, a music came to my mind. The melody of a peanut vendor. So we did the peanut vendor, and at the end, we land again in one note and different part of the keyboard. Exactly what we did at the beginning.
You can improvise while keeping that melodic rhythmic phrase on the first toms and the bass drum and the hi-hat. One of the most important things is how subtle you're able to come back rhythmic melodic phrase on the toms and how you can get back into the improvisation.
So add the right hand in slowly, and slowly keep that relaxation going and speed up the tempo until you feel comfortable. So if you go slow and you remember, stay relaxed, don't keep your hand in that stretched out position, and use the in and out movements, I promise you, you'll be able to play this piece very well.
The right hand and the left hand create all 4 16th notes on beat 3, but it's right, left together. So you get right, left, together. And then you're at beat 4. 1, 2. So then beat 4, the right hand has the syncopation. So that's the hardest thing to practice. Once you get that down, practice different rhythms against that left hand pattern, like quarter notes. And eighth notes. Then 16th notes. Now let's talk about the solo language. It's just 2 chords, 1 and 4 like a church, but the melody has a 5 chord over the 4. 5 chord over 4. That means it's a 4 and 5 at the same time. Well, for jazz players, that means we can play all of our 2-5 stuff. So we can play 1, 2, 5, back to the 1. Some other things you can do. You can just play an F. You can just go outside. If we get tired of hearing F, go to G flat. And then come back to F, or go to E. And finally, it's a calypso-y melody. So the calypso melody is based on syncopation and triads. Practice all those things, you'll be ready to play this piece. The motto of the Frost School of Music is build yourself. It's not a place to go where somebody tells you this is the one way to do something.
So when you're studying a piece like this and you're studying an artist like Keith Jarrett, that philosophy really, really holds true.
No caer en el error de repetir lo que vemos, sino interpretar lo que vemos.
It's great to learn it exactly the way Keith did. But once you have that, once it feels comfortable, don't stop there.
And that will enhance, you as a player, as an artist. It might take you to some other different places that you haven't been.
That's exactly what the Frost School is all about.